I bought a 66 Caddy Fleetwood, and I am trying to figure out what it needs and what it doesn't need. It's all original, even the paint. It's got the 429, the Quadrajet. I'm new to really old cars. I'm kind of new to owning them and restoring them. And I'm realizing that everything you touch to try to fix opens up like 3 more problems that you didn't know were there. So that's where I'm at now. I've got a list made of all kinds of stuff to fix. It's 3 pages so far. And I haven't actually fixed anything on this car, and I've probably put about 30 or 40 hours into it so far. I buffed it, but that's about all I've gotten done. It had no power when I bought it, so we couldn't start it. So I got the battery charged up on it and figured out there was direct shorts in some of the wiring. Somebody had wired the alternator the wrong way and had positive coming off the negative, and it was charging, or positively charging some ground circuits. So the headlights would stay on all the time. And he had it hooked up to a clamp onto the battery just to turn the headlights on. He cut the wires. So I've been fixing a few things. Some of the wires they cut and putting in new grounds. Everything's bad basically. Just trying to figure something out. Trying to get turn signals, trying to get headlights, trying to get anything to work, and it's so complicated on this car. This has the Twilight Sentinel that keeps the lights on when you shut the car off. It's adjustable. And then it has Guidematic, which is this sensor here, photo cell, that dims the high beams for oncoming cars. It has the floor dimmer switch for beams. It has a lot of different features, and it's not just a switch and headlights. So it had the 4-horn setup, that Cadillac 4-horn setup, but those are gone. It had AC, and obviously over the years that's been taken out. So I'll have to convert it over to whatever the new one is, R34A or R12. I don't remember which is which, but that's not going to happen until I get at least like brakes. And yeah, this paint is horrible, huh? So the interior is pretty good. It's nice. The headline is nice. I thought it was perfect, but then I noticed that tear. I've got the gauges pulled apart a little bit. I've been working on the headlight switch. Put a new headlight switch in, it immediately burnt up. Then I realized the negative ground around everything is positively charged. Had to start figuring that out. So yeah, it's kind of a mess in here, but really nice looking interior. It has some rips on the seats, but I found they make upholstery for it. I found the fabric. I got a sample, so that shouldn't be an issue. Have someone put a new fabric on that bottom of the seat. Back seat's pretty luxurious. Got the dome lights working, little spotlights, and it's got those feet there, and it's got these little trays. Oh, they kind of stick. That's luxury. Cool car, can't wait to get it done. Needs a top. Had some rot back here I'll have to pull apart and put in some new metal. The wheel cylinders are all leaking. I have no pedal. Like the brake pedal, you push the pedal, it stayed down to the floor. And I thought it was a master cylinder, so I repaired it, didn't fix it. I noticed the bore of the master cylinder was pretty beat up, so I put in a new master. That still didn't fix it, so I pulled all the wheels off and found two of the wheel cylinders leaking. That one and that one. So I'll do the wheel cylinder. I got all four wheel cylinders. The brake lines are good. So then hopefully that'll fix the pedal issue. But this is the Fender Skirt. The only rot I found on the car, because it was from Florida, was the bottom of the Fender Skirt. So I'm making a new panel here. I'm an amateur, but I'm making a new panel for that. Just out of hand tools, hammer and dollies, just playing around. Don't have the right setup for it. This really needs to be stretched, the metal, and because it's got a couple different curves. It's got that curve there, and then it's got to bend down that way. So we'll see if I can get it close enough. It's covered by trim anyways. The only part you see is really there, and then it's to structurally hold it to the car on the bottom. So that doesn't have to be perfect. Let me pause this for a minute and get my list. Alright, here's my list so far. No volts, dead battery, hard to start or no start. I think I have that straightened out. I did the timing, ignition timing, wires, cap rotor, and the carburetor needed to be adjusted. I got a vacuum gauge, adjusted the settings. It runs good. The choke wasn't engaging all the way, and plus I didn't know how to start it. I guess you put the pedal to the floor on these cars before you start it. It gives it a squirt in the primaries of fuel, and then it also trips the choke over. Maybe it doesn't trip the choke over. Maybe it bumps it up to high idle, because the choke should be set down. So then you start the car and let it do its thing. It revs up higher as it warms up, and then you tap the gas and it comes off high idle. So I didn't know that. Starter solenoid's not engaging. That's still an issue. Every once in a while it doesn't kick into the flywheel. Vacuum lines hanging. Those are for the AC. I had to plug those. Headlights are always on. I'm dealing with that. No power windows. I figured that out. It just needed to be run for a while to build up some vacuum, because I guess it's all vacuum actuators and things. So I'm not sure how all that works. I got all the books. I got a climate control book. I got laminated wiring diagram. So we'll figure all this stuff out. No AAC compressor. Brake pedal stuck down. No taillights. I fixed that. I forget what the issue is with that. No interior lights. I fixed that. No radio reception. I'll have to deal with the radio. I don't know what to do with that yet. Speakers don't work. Wet carpet. It's just, there was some of this leaks. Obviously the weather stripping is all old, so the carpet was all wet under the driver's floor, so he must not have had it covered. Wet under the trunk. Yeah, the trunk seal's bad. No exhaust. Right rear brake locks up. Yeah, we got big brake issues. No horn. Generator light on. Gauges don't work. Driver's seat's ripped. Bad paint. Air shocks leak. Water pump leaks. Oil was dirty. No turn signals. No high beams. Right front turn signal indicator is always on. The ones that are up are mounted on the hood. Left turn signal indicator always off. Fuse box contacts are all rotted and corroded. Vinyl roof ripped. Bad ground to passenger door lamps. There's no ground on the passenger door, so. Alternator's not charging. No washer, squirter. No climate control or blower. This has automatic climate control, and that's very complicated. So I have a book I'm gonna read and then deal with that. So we'll get it working one way or another. It's just hard to find parts for this stuff. If it's the actual controller and in the dash with the switches and things, I'm not sure what's in there, but I know that piece is expensive to buy used. Left front play in the wheel bearing, I repacked that and tightened it up. Engine, it misses under a load when I was driving it. That was, I don't know what that was, but it's fixed. Rubber hanging under the front end. unequal braking, locking up on the right side, and then there's no pressure on the pedal. Positive ground going to front ground circuit. Positive going to front ground circuit. I'm dealing with that now. Wheel cylinders leaking, trans output shaft seal leaking, trans cooler leaking to where it goes into the radiator, and a fuel leak right out of the tank, squirting on the ground. So that's just a rubber hose and a clamp up there I gotta look at. But look at the frame. I mean, the car has a lot of issues, but it wasn't really messed around with too bad, besides the wiring up front. It's pretty original, and it's not rotted. It's solid. And that's all you can ask for in these cars. And I found this cool sticker from like an oil change way back from Kendall Motor Oil and American. It's like Standard Oil, but it says Miami, Florida on it, so it was definitely a Florida car, which explains the paint and no rust. So I'm going to be working on this, and I'll post videos throughout the progress. It's going to take a few years. I have other things going on, other projects. I got a couple Jeeps I'm working on, almost done with one of them, but I just want to get this thing driving this summer, no AC, and have fun with it. And then I'm just gonna pick away at it. I'll get it painted, I'll take the chrome off, I'll get everything chromed. Chrome's in decent shape, but it's pitted. If I'm gonna paint it, the chrome is really gonna look bad once I get it all back together. See the pitting? It's not perfect. So it looks fine now, but once I get this car painted, you're really gonna notice this chrome, especially here. It's flaking and bubbling. There's really one bad spot on the back. Right here. That's not good. So that'll look like crap when I get it painted. So if anybody has any ideas of where to get chrome plating done, and what I have to do, if I have to prep it first, or if they'll prep it all, sand it all, let me know in the comments, because I'll need to get that done. I can ship them anywhere. It's really just going to be the rear bumper, taillights, grille. The side moldings are fine. And then we'll get it painted, and I'll put a vinyl top on and get the seat fixed. So I'll keep you updated. Thanks.